Okay, so we'll start. Could you tell me about your current role and your previous background?
Right now, I work for one of the local community trusts, community NHS trusts. I'm a nurse consultant for older people, but I mainly work around audit and strategy and professional issues, trying to make sure that clinically we do the right things for people.
How did you come up with the idea of writing the student's nurse book?
I've been a nursing student 3 times. The first time in the US, I didn't take my boards, so I had to go again, and then I took my test and passed, and then I came here, and they couldn't understand my qualification. So it was faster for me to take the course than it was to wait for them to sort the qualification. And I was working with the Royal College of Nursing Student Association at that time, which is now RCN Students, and I came up with the idea and thought, students could use this. I was chair of the RCN Students Association, and a lot of students all over the country had the same problems. So I came up with an idea for the book. Somebody from the publishers, Elsevier, had contacted the RCN and said, do you have a nursing student maybe who's got UK and US experience? And could they look at this book? And I looked at it and I said, your book is too American, it won't work here. And they said, well, what do you think would work? And I said, well, I have this idea. And that's how the book came out. And they took a chance because I was completely unknown. And it was far more successful than they ever imagined it would be.
What things do you think have you helped to change?
I think the biggest thing is my books say to students, you can do this. You can do this, but don't let go of what's important. Put your patient first. And the feedback I get from students is it helps to keep them grounded, that your patient is the center of everything you do. And if you just think about what they need, everything else you need to do falls into place. Students tell me that it's given them confidence, helped them to get through rough spots. And if it's done that for them, then that's what's important. But I think the most important thing it's done is it said that nurses care for patients. That's first and foremost what we do. And that's something I feel really passionate about.
What's next in your professional life?
To write a book about disability, to help people understand disability, because it isn't what you imagine until you're there yourself. I've had some requests to write a book about myself in Tasca, but I've also collected stories over time about various patients who've taught me a lot about being human. And the real blessing in being a nurse is the privilege of being part of so many people's lives. And so I'd like to write something about that. And eventually I'd like to go into academia and teach.